Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Sitting in front of me today is my 1990 Mercedes-Benz 300E, and we are going to be changing the rear brakes on this thing, but little update, we still haven't figured anything out with this. We will get to it eventually, though. Just got to source some more parts. So that'll be a later video, but what we got going on right now is I'm going to get back here. We're going to crack the wheels while they're on the ground. We're going to lift up the car, pull the wheels off. We got our 17mm socket on here. I'm gonna pull these off now. Couldn't find my other ratchet, so here we are. So honestly, it's a little hard to tell what we have going on here. I mean, we have insane amounts of, this is just brake dust. Like I pulled this off and there was a pile that moved down the wheel of just brake dust. So that's not great. But the other wheel, too, looks atrocious on the inside from brake dust as well. And you can see, I mean, there is a very, very, very noticeable lip right here. I mean, that is a thick lip. So there's that. So I don't know. I think this one's getting hung up. But like I said, we're changing both calipers anyway. All of this is pretty old stuff. So it's time. So I know this isn't wildly helpful for anybody trying to change just their pads. I'll be able to show you a little bit better on the new rotors, but these pins, there is almost no hope of those coming out. Look at that. That is rotted in there. Look at that middle pin. It is just completely rotted. That would break. It's stuck right here and right here. I was going to play with it, but I also come to the realization that I am changing this caliper, so I don't really need to touch it, honestly. We do, however, need to take this bit off right here. I don't know what size it is yet. I'll probably just keep grabbing random hex heads out of my toolkit until I find the proper fit, I guess, is kind of the move here right now. And so we're a little bigger than the 3/16. But we just got to mess around with this, get this off, and then we got to take a screwdriver, put it in here, and we got to find there's an adjustment for the brake shoes inside that work as your e-brake. We got to loosen it so we can pull those shoes in. That way we don't get caught on a lip trying to pull this rotor off. But all right, I'll start with this. We'll pull this off, and I will see you in a second. So you really don't want to strip that, but I actually put the 3/16 in there, and it pulled this out just fine for me. Definitely make sure you have what fits proper. But all right, we got this out. Now I'm going to spin this until, honestly, it might even be better to just go through one of the regular stud holes. And I got to shine a light in there, get this flathead screwdriver that's real skinny, and adjust that shoe so it closes. Alrighty, so what we got going on now is I just got a little dish for some brake fluid in case I spill some, because some is definitely going to come out of here. We are going to brake free this line. I was going to pinch the hose, but that is not going to happen with this hose, actually. So that makes things a little difficult, but I'm going to break it free while it's on the car right now. I was going to bring the calipers with me when I got the new ones to just do the core exchange, but I'm not going to be able to crimp off this hose. This is a very hard and old hose. I'm going to need a new one if I do that. So I will just pull it off and swap it as fast as I can, and then obviously we're going to have to bleed everything. So, all right, I'm going to crack this. We got to figure out what size wrench we're going to need. Let's try 9/16. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's perfect. All right. So now we're gonna go up with it and see if it cracks or not. So let's give that a go. Let's find out. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That came right free. All right, so now we're gonna get back here. We have a bolt right here that we got to remove with the 17. And I believe there's one more right back here that we also got to remove. So we get a ratchet on there. Break that free. Cool. Now I can just work these off. And removing the hose, like breaking it free while it was on the car, was such an awesome idea. All right, just like I suspected, I figured that the back end was like sticking. Look at that. We have so much pad, and I see the pad, and I've been hearing squealing, but I see the pad. And the inside has just been metal on metal. So that'll do that. That's lovely. All right, we're going to hang this just up here so it's not hanging on the hose. Wherever, doesn't matter. But yeah, that's a lot of meat left on there. So that's nuts. Wow. Well, that'll get rid of some of our noise, huh? Makes me happy to be doing all this work. Now, let's go to the other side and take the other caliper off. This one's kind of hard to say. It's not evenly worn. This side is a lot thinner to the eye than this side. But let's take a look at what's going on in here. I don't know. I think this stuff is just real old. I think it's the other side that was really getting hung up, metal on metal. So that's why it wasn't like smelling like brake dust, because there was no more brake dust. But there's a serious lip right here. I mean, it's like very, very, very big. So someone at some point just pad slapped the car and called it a day. But we've gotten our calipers pretty much off. I just gotta literally grab that and twist the caliper off. When we get our new caliper, we'll twist it on. The next struggle is getting these rotors off. Once these rotors are off, then we will be in business. Here we are. You can see right in here, I found our little adjustment gear. I'm just going to take my screwdriver, try to get it on there, and keep turning it up. It's going to take a little pressure. I'm not even on it right this second, but yes, the gear is right here. So I believe up would loosen it. And so we're going to do that a couple times and then hammer this rotor off. So if anything, I lied to you. I lied to you all. You actually are going to want to go down. It looks like it's compressing when spinning down, as lifting it up was making the shoes go out, which was kind of odd. So I guess it tightens into itself. So that's good to know. So we're gonna basically get our new rotor, which I actually have. We'll put it on. We'll adjust the shoes till they touch, and then we'll back them off just a little bit. That way it spins freely. So the only thing I'm waiting to do right now before I go put my rotor on is, obviously, I gotta go pick up my calipers and things like that, but I wanna take some brake parts cleaner and just clean this all up, get some of this mess out of here, and then we'll probably be good to take like a little wire brush and clean this stuff up as well, get rid of this lip, things like that. But after that, we should be pretty good to go. Well, I just made it back home. I inspected my e-brake and everything like that, all those things, my shoes and everything were looking really good. We got to center out this brake rotor. We'll tighten up this bolt right here, and then we can work on swapping out our calipers. I got some new ones in the box right here. They didn't come with a copper gasket, so I gotta look into that. I have to figure it's supposed to have one, but we'll see when we take this all apart. All right, so it's time. We've gotten our bolts in place there. We're going to take our caliper, and right here, it doesn't look like it uses a copper gasket, which is really odd. I've never seen that on brakes before, but we are going to have to put a wrench to this and pull it off. I can just take this. I'm gonna put this little dish right here to help catch fluid. I got a rag underneath it, but I'm just literally going to spin this off, take out a new one, and spin it on. That's really all we're gonna do here. Wow, not much is coming out of that. That's great. All right, take this and spin it on, and that's honestly it. That's how fast this is. I am very shocked at the fact that there's no gasket, but it doesn't sit right tight up against it either. So it's really that simple. We're going to take a wrench and tighten that up nice and tight. Make sure it's, you don't want to strip it, but that's good right there. Now I can bolt this up. You want to make sure your bleeder screw is facing up. I hope that camera angle is good, and we will apply it with our bolts. So here we are. We have this up here now. Now I think you can change the pads with the caliper on the car. So I think I'm going to do that just to make it easy. Why not? So we've got this tightened up. Let me get those back bracket bolts tightened up, and I'll see you in a minute. So all I got to do is take my pad and make sure it's facing the right way. Slide it in. So this sits just like this, facing up, the square facing high up. And what happens is once this goes in, the pins will hold one side here and another side there, just like you see. So I'm going to get these pins in place now. Now we can take these and feed them this way, right into it. I've never used these before, so it's pretty interesting, but might need two hands to play with it. And then I think we'll just tap them in place is all we gotta do. Pretty new to this. I've not messed with these before. It's pretty interesting to me, I'm saying. All right. Going a little slow right now, but maybe the second pin will hold the bottom one in. And I gotta look into it real quick. I think we gotta just tap them in though. I don't think it's anything too crazy. Might be easier to do off the car as well. I don't know. We'll find out. See, now we got some pressure on this retainer, which is good. We want to be, there we go. Yeah, we're getting some spring on there now. Yeah, this is, I've never done this. So bear with me. But yeah, we got to push these pins all the way through, get them right here, and I think just tap them in. So I'm going to go double check that, and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, so I took a hammer and I lightly tapped the pins, and they set themselves right in place. Yeah, look at that. This one's a little awkward. Gonna have to hit it a little funny, but you'll see we are pushed all the way through. Probably going a little bit deeper, and then I think we'll be all set. It's a really simple setup. So I actually just came in here. I took a bolt and I hammered the bolt straight through to kind of push the pins through. If you have a punch, it'd probably be a little easier or better. But there you go. That's what you want to see. And I think we're all good there. So all I got to do now is bleed this side and put the wheel back on. And we are done the brakes. And I'm just going to go do everything we did here on the other side. So what is up, friends? We are back out here. I had to bleed the brakes outside. I had no pedal. I figured I had the wheels on, so I'd put the car in its parking spot for now and finish the job. But what I just learned, which is really weird, so obviously you need DOT for brake fluid, but that's not the weird thing. What's weird is here, the brake reservoir, I guess you have to have it filled to the very tippy top. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's like right at max. But I kept pouring and more fluid. It literally took way more fluid than it had. So I guess that maybe I ran the lines dry. There's, I guess, a little reservoir on the back. We're going to give it a go because I cannot get this to bleed. I had no rear brakes, and that would make a lot of sense, obviously, if it's not getting the fluid. So that's the last step to this, is just bleed it and put my wheels on. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. Yo, what is up, guys? So it is a new day, and I finally have the car, and I got a chance to do some work to it. So we're going to continue this video by installing a new blower motor resistor and blower motor. So I'm going to start this thing up. Probably going to take a try or two. I still got to figure this out. Oh, look at that. Perfect start. All right, well, here we are. We got our controls right here, and none of them work. It started to cut out for a little while. Only one speed was working, so that gave me the idea that it's probably just the resistor that's bad. But I'm already here. This car is roughly 30-something years old, so I was like, well, we're going to go right through and just change the blower motor while we're there. It's all in front of us. We got to do it all anyway, so we're gonna send it. But we're gonna get this thing parked up over by the garage. So I'm gonna bring all my tools over here. So we'll do a little Benz off-roading for y'all. Get this thing all parked up, and I will see you in a second. So I just popped my hood right here, and up front you'll see that there's a little bit of damage up here. What happened was my girlfriend was driving it and smoked a deer, and she's okay. The car's pretty much fine, but we're going to be fixing this in the next video. I actually have a brand new headlight sitting in the garage. We're going to pull out the radiator support, and I'm not too worried about the hood right now. It looks like there's just a little dent in it, but we got this pretty bad fitment. Obviously, I just popped the hood, but it gives it a little bit more of a dramatic stance where you can see the hood is sticking up on this side, and I believe it's because the radiator support needs to be pulled. Been having a little bit of trouble trying to get this open since then too. I kind of grabbed this, and once I have it, now we're good. There we go. All right. And it doesn't look too bad, but that is for another video. So what we got going on is we have to get to the blower motor and blower motor resistor, which I believe are sitting right in here. And actually, what's really nice about this, Mercedes really thought this car through when they built it, thankfully, is we can put the hood in the 12 o'clock position because we need to get to the center of the engine bay. So the hood, actually from factory, can just sit like this. And now I have all the room in the world I need to work on this car. So I actually really love this car. I'm a big fan of it. I've been super like happy with owning it. Obviously it's an old car, so it's going to have old car problems, and wow, have we had a lot of them with this car. But there's something about the style of it. I just love this thing. I just can't get over it. So I don't know. For right now, this is the Benz for me. But we just pulled off our rubber trim. I'm going to just slap it on the ground there for now. And we got to find our way into here. So I actually have not messed with this before. I'm just kind of taking a look around right now for my very first time to see what it's going to take to get into where we're going. So interesting enough, we actually got some trim right here that pulls off of behind the windshield. I actually didn't catch that. I just kind of, oh yeah, you just kind of give it a little pull. Wow, okay. That's simple enough. So we're going to carefully place this on each side of the car as well. Get that trim off. And I'm seeing some screws right there. So probably our first plan of attack is to get at those. Who knows the last time any of this stuff has even been off. And if it'll go back on. All right, that's a good start. Now we can see some screws that we got some access to. So we're going to pull those off next. All right, here we go. We're going to be removing this gasket next. It just kind of pulls up. Take your time. All right, we'll go over there and undo it over there as well. Beautiful. Okay, so another gasket down. Perfect. What we got going on next is there's all sorts of little tricks to this. We got some little clips right here. These are going to get unscrewed from the firewall. There, so it's hard. This one's kind of a weird like piece. Yeah, it's plastic and it's already breaking. So just be careful. Look at that. This line runs up and over to ground for your battery, which you could disconnect. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, especially when messing with electrical components, but I don't think it's dire. Guess we'll remove these little screws in the chrome trim. We have 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And then we can pull off our chrome trim, or I think it's going to come up with the plastic piece it's attached to. That's why it's riveted right to it. So we'll go over there, do the same thing. Simple enough. You have some Phillips head screws right here that you can also remove. So we're going to pull all 4 of these out as well. Those are right under the wiper. Once we pull these off, we'll figure out what is going to be next for us. Once you remove those little screws, I just put them up on here for right now. You just pull off this little piece of plastic trim. This, I just popped out the little pin that was holding it in place. You can see there's a little pin, but it broke. So 30-year-old car things. And then you got these little metal clips that hold this in place. So this can also go sit right down here. So you just want to be real gentle playing with the stuff. I mean, things are going to break. It is bound to happen. That is the fun of old cars. So I'm kind of wiggling at things right now. Just trying to see where we're at. All right, that came off that seal. That's wonderful. I don't know if we have to take off these pieces of plastic trim, but I may just do that in just a second just to see what else I need to get at. All right, so this plastic trim does overlap this, so we are going to pull it off. Just for now, 2 more Phillips head screws right down here. We'll do it on both sides. Pull the trim out, and maybe that'll give us a little bit more access to what we're working with. I have no idea. I've never pulled this apart, so I'm kind of learning as I go as well while I work on this video for you guys. But all right, we got a little tab down here. Just pull it out, and it will release this plastic trim, which then just lifts, just up from there. I'm gonna clean that out a little bit as well. That can just sit down there. Now we can move over to the other side and do the same thing, but now this is starting to become real loose. So I had a little plastic clip right here that I had to pull out of this little tab sticking out of the car. So the pull tab is just missing up on this side. So we can just take this out, slap it down here, and then we can take a look and see maybe where we're getting hung up. So we're still, we can take this out too. It's just like a little plastic trim piece. Gonna rest it right there. All right, and we gotta kind of take a look, figure out, oh yeah, see, it's just pretty loose. This actually seems like it might be good to come off. Pull them out, I believe. Actually, no, we're good. I just heard something fall. I heard something metal. So there might have been tabs, but if there were, there is not anymore. So not my biggest concern. All right, now we're pretty much at the wiper motor. This should get pretty easy. We're gonna take off these 2 10mm right here. To start, we can pull this little, oh, I figured we could have. Yeah, we'll start here with these 2 10mm, and then there's this clip right here. We're gonna have to take off as well, and then the assembly should come off, I believe. There might be something else holding it in as well. All right, here's my ratchet with the comically large extension because it was just what was available from the job I did the other day on the RSX. So there you have that. Now we can probably pull these off by hand, and I will show you in just a second how we remove that clip. But that is the wiper motor sitting right there in that plastic box. So this job wasn't too bad, a little tedious, lots of little pieces of trim, but a couple things are gonna break, unfortunately, too. But we're doing okay so far. Yeah, see, that loosens that up, so it's just right here. So I guess we can take this flathead, we'll walk over here. I'll try to do this, everything when I film, I'm always doing it one-handed, so Always makes things tricky, but we just gotta pry this little clip off. Actually, watch this. Maybe. Yeah, look at that. Bam. So don't lose that. You're gonna want it. I hope I got it on film. But that is what's holding that in place. So there's got to be something else somewhere. What's nice to know is there's a little bit more support here. We got a 10mm right here, and there should be one on the other side up in there holding the wiper assembly in place. And it's probably just under right there. Bam. So we're going to take those off, and then I should be able to flip the wiper out. So that's pretty good. All right, so there we are. We can take the wiper motor now, pull it forward. It's going to be real gentle. That is our windshield. And we're going to rotate it kind of upside down in here, pull it off all these studs. All right, it's perfect. Watch out for the end of the wiper motor as well. But we can take this and just kind of flip it up on its side, and there's just a electrical connection right there that needs to be undone. I don't know all in all what holds that in place or if it just pulls off. So just kind of feeling around it. I think it just gets pulled off. That is looking so much better already. We can take our screwdriver. Someone has definitely been here before. There's a lot of things that are broken and missing already. So that's that. I don't know why someone was in here already, but there's like tabs done, things missing, and that's okay. Old car things. So we're gonna take our screwdriver and just keep popping off all these little tabs. This is an air temp sensor. Nothing holds it in place. So there's that. All right, we're gonna walk over to the other side and do the same thing. Seems like I can see two little Phillips head screws, so we might have to remove those as well. Ooh, that one's on there real good. Same with this one. So I'm gonna pull those off real quick by hand or with both of my hands, but you get the drill. Little metal clips need to come off, and then this can pull out. All of our metal clips have been undone. There is two back here. That one is broken. Perfect. This can come out. This is just the cover. So, well, there we are. That blower motor doesn't even look that old. So I think somebody else had this problem and had already been through here. Looks too new. But that's okay. I'm going to change it out because I already bought a new one, and that's it. So unconnect to that little blue connector. All right, that's pretty old. Maybe not. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. But we have that. All right, we got a Phillips head screw here, Phillips head screw there. Don't think we need to touch that yet, though. I think we need to undo this clip right here. So it's simple enough. I actually took my Phillips head screwdriver, and I just pushed it down on here, pulled it back. We have now released this little clip. So I don't know if I had to undo this 4 screws I did up here. I undid 2 more, but they're out. Now I can take the motor and pull this thing out. This is hard to say. I don't know what the OEM ones would be, but I don't know. Looks like that one's probably been changed. Given look at that plastic on here. It's all super yellowed. But now we can get down to the blower motor resistor, which is actually not far from here. So right down there is the blower motor resistor sitting right underneath the box. So actually the 2 screws I took off up here were a good move. Looks like I got one more to pull off right here, and then we got to play with it and see what else I got to take off after. But I'm going to pull that one out. All right, so we just pulled this little plastic retainer out of there for the blower motor. I got a 7/32 on my ratchet right this second, and we are going to pull off these middle bolts and then go from there, see what else might be holding this in. But that is our blower motor resistor right there. So my phone just died. It's probably going to do it again. My screen's acting pretty crazy. But all I've done since last time I picked up the camera is we pulled this piece out of place, and what holds it in was that one screw. But right here, you got this big plastic cradle, and there's one screw holding it down right in here. So once I removed that, I was able to pull out this whole fixture. Looks like I took the gasket with it. All right. Well, anyway, this sits down in there with a notch into the plastic, and then right here are your 2 bolt holes that you saw us take the bolts out of right here and here. So I just got to pull this cord out of place. I'm going to make a slit right down the center of this so I can just take our new harness, put it in, put the rubber gasket back in place, and that plugs in right here. So I'm going to take our new resistor in just a minute and show you guys how I get that in place, and then I'll put the blower motor back in place. We'll get it all plugged in, and then I'll put everything back together. So right here, this is the new blower motor resistor. You can see this one's got some age. This is looking pretty clean. So I'm gonna take this. We're gonna get this back in place first. My camera may die again, so please bear with me. But we're going to take it. We're gonna slide it all down in there in just a minute. First thing I want to do though, underneath is run this little. Oh wow, this actually comes with a new gasket in place. That makes a lot of sense actually for them to sell you the part like that. So I'm going to have to take this, slide it down. Now we can run the connection through our hole, and then we'll just make sure that grommet goes back up. But I will run that up and plug it in just a second. We just got to fight with this and get it in place. We're just going to sit just like this down underneath the plastic. All right, so just make sure once your resistor is in place, this little tab sits right in the middle right here. So we're gonna kind of feed that through, push it down, keeps the wires out of place. We're gonna run that gasket a little better real quick, but I'm gonna plug that back in, and I have it ran through there with our little rubber piece plugged in up here. Then I need to lay the motor down. Alrighty, we've got our motor. It's just going to sit right in here. I have to move these wires a little bit better. They need to be kind of tucked down in here, so I gotta run them through. My phone keeps dying, but all you gotta do is take the plastic cradle right here. You gotta run this wire straight through that little U. Now we can place this down, make sure our wires for the blower motor are coming up, and look at that. That'll be a perfect fit. So I'm having a bit of a problem with this blower motor right here. These fins are way too wide. They do not fit this car. Look how wide that is. So that's kind of a pain in the tail. So there's that. So what I'm going to do is take off my old fins, which I broke a couple, but not going to be the end of the world. But anyway, yeah, that does not fit in there like it should. It's just too wide. So I'm going to pull this out, go swap on. If I can get off both of these and the ones off my spare old motor, we'll put the new fins on and, I don't know, reach out to car parts, because they were like, oh no, we guarantee this fits, and well, here we are. Big size difference. So that was a bit of a waste of time, but here we are now. We've got our new motor with the old fan, so be careful when you remove the other one in case you also run into this problem. I only snapped off one or two little ears somewhere. Yeah, right there. So it's not that bad, but still, I would have been a little more careful. But that's what happens. So all I got to do is adjust it and make it so these are spread out enough to where they can fit into each slot. And then you want your connector on the driver's side. So make sure you take this little metal thing, make sure you got it going in the right way. Probably easier to put that in place before you start to bolt down the cradle. This will sit right in here. Perfect. Now we can take this, bend it around, put a little screwdriver on that pivot, and push it down into place. And at some point, it should, look at that, awesome. Flip right on. Well, all right, guys, so you've just seen me put the blower motor in place. It's all strapped down now. That piece is not coming out. Push on that, everything's good, no rubbing. I'm gonna take some electrical tape these up, put it so they are out of the way and not gonna hit the fan blades. Put my cover on and put everything back together. Well, I'm back out here today. It's a new day. And I hope my videos last night were making enough sense on pretty much what to do with the install. But if not, here is my wires all connected, all taped up. I've already tested it. We've locked this in place with this pin, not going anywhere. That is not going to hit anything it shouldn't at any given time. Plenty of play, not coming out. Now I can take this plastic cover. We're going to fit this back on there. Make sure your clips are all accessible. And this should fit just kind of nice and snug where it seats. And once we have that in place, then I can put everything back the exact same way you saw us take it off. We have pretty much completed the install. We're going to, I've tested it out real quick earlier, but we are going to officially test it. I'm going to drop the hood, make sure everything is out from under here, little pieces of whatever, but everything's looking pretty good. We're all back together. We'll close that in a minute. Let's get in here. Let's give this a start. It's getting pretty cold again, and I probably need the keys. I won't lie, I just walked back outside after sitting on my phone inside for a minute, and I forgot the keys, so I had to go back and get them. But if you're watching this still, thank you, dude. Much love. And so you get a quick peek at the new AMG 5 spokes I just picked up from the Mercedes. They will be going on in a video soon. I just need some rear tires for back here. I don't need them, but probably should. So once those are on, these can be cleaned up and thrown in the car. But that is maybe like 2-3 videos on the Mercedes from now, but just wanted to show you because you're still here, and that's pretty awesome. All right, here we go. Here we go. Makes a little bit of a noise. I think it's just how the fan sounds starting up. But we'll start the car. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Good start, too. I hope that stays consistent. But get a little bit of a... Makes a little noise. And we're good to go. That's it. Yeah, this is pretty nice to have air in this car again. And, yeah, it's defrosting as well right now. I'm just trying to make sure everything is kind of doing what it's supposed to. I love these buttons. But that's pretty awesome. We have air in this car again. That's a huge step. Hopefully in the next video, we will be straightening out the car, getting that damage all dealt with the deer and all that kind of fun stuff. I have a new headlight ready to go. So I guess that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for checking it out. Now you know how to do your rear brakes and how to do your blower motor and blower motor resistor, and the sunset is beautiful. There's a mini truck, another mini truck. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out.